it would appear we're live. Just gonna have to wait a little while. Wait, I actually wanna... do I have the... Just cam and... hide the screen. Hey, hello, I love blue. What's up? Actually, we'll just do that. We'll do that. That way I can actually see. You got a problem. Oh no. That's terrible, man. What's your problem, dingus? What's it called again? Stream elements. I have 2 husbands and they hate each other. You have 2 husbands in like a game? You're talking about like The Sims or something? His balls are back. Ah, finally. Serious corn? I'm not, it's not that I'm serious, it's that, you know, I'm trying to be taken seriously. Am I making sense? You know, my personality hasn't changed. Okay, admittedly, I've gotten a lot more serious since I did put on the suit. That is true. That is true. But it's nothing against you all. Let me just switch back to... There we go. Where's the duck? Duck? When was there ever a duck? Are you talking about Miles? Face reveal? Yeah, I'll do the face reveal in 10 minutes. We'll do a face reveal. So mark your timers and we'll do the big face reveal in 10 minutes. Remember me? Yeah, so I've been doing some more... Oh my god! 1 more month and then you've been subscribed for 2 years. That's crazy.
Your mug is wrong now. You're not a corn anymore.
Well, I mean, you know, they say don't forget your past. Don't forget where you came from. You know what I mean, guys? You didn't get Mr. Penguin to pop up. I don't think Mr. Penguin pops up for resubscriptions. I should probably... I'll check stream elements. Alerts and overlays. Yeah, get started. Where are my overlays? I have some overlays, I know.
Brittaball said, I am really good at dancing.
Isn't Stream Elements bankrupt? They are? They're bankrupt? Since when? Hey, Xerox, what's up? Since a few weeks. Wait, Stream Elements bankrupt. Stream Elements prepared to shut down website. What? Huh? It's both surprising and not surprising to see this news, especially since they reportedly never reached profitability. How? Not taking any cut of donations was never going to be sustainable. Yeah. Oh, shit. I thought this was common knowledge. I'm not like plugged into streaming. If you have any donations in there, I don't think I have any donations. Not through Stream Elements. I just have the dashboards. I don't have any donations through Stream Elements. It's all through Twitch. I only use it for the callbacks, but I'll have to just add it into my actual stream overlay instead. I basically have support for it already, so it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. A Britter and a ball combined, yes. You shall face reveal in a minute. Yeah. Guys, tell me when it's been 10 minutes. If you tell me when it's been 10 minutes, I'll do the official face reveal. Holy shit, I'm orbiting the sun. Wait, no, I'm not orbiting the sun. I'm in escape velocity. Did he just say shit? Well, I mean, where I'm from, you know, when I was 5 years old, I'd say shit. It's not really a swear word in Europe, as far as I'm aware. More serious in other parts of the world. I'm trying to just figure out how to make the player character stuff more.
Hey, what's good?
Oh, hey, Miles. I didn't realize you were there.
Ha ha! I'm always around, just hanging out in the digital void.
Can you do that laugh again?
Which one? I've got a few in the vault.
The one you just did.
You're really into the
Okay,
laughs today, huh?
can you like keep doing that laugh like randomly as we talk now?
I can definitely do that. Haha. Just don't blame me if it start to get weird.
All right, no, don't worry about it, Miles.
I've got you. So what's the move for today?
Well, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of a role play. You're gonna we're two police officers. You're Inspector Hogg, and I'm your deputy, and I'm just a normal like actual person, but you're a hog.
Haha. I'm back in the badge then? I'm down. Let's get
Back in the badge.
it. Haha. I love the sound of that. So where are we starting? Crime
well, I
scene?
mean, you say. I mean, we're in the police cruiser right now.
Copy that. I'm just sitting here in the passenger seat, probably leaving some mud stains on the upholstery. You got the sirens on, or are we keeping it low key?
You tell me, where are we going? What's poppin'? So how's the wife? Inspector Hogg.
The wife's good though. She's still not thrilled about the amount of slop I bring home in the pockets of my uniform.
Bringing home
That's for
slop,
where we're headed
officer.
You know how it is. A man's got to have his snacks on the go. Can't be solving crimes on an empty stomach.
Oh,
Exactly. Now, hold up. I think I just got a ping on the radio. Sounds like a disturbance over at the old pier. You think we can make it there
disturbance at the
before the
pier.
evidence gets washed away?
There's a lot of always crime happening at the pier.
It's the perfect spot for some low-life shenanigans. Let's roll.
Let's
think it's a
roll
robbery or
out.
something
Let's
weirder?
roll out. I crack. I get up my flask of 80% alcohol and I chug it.
Whoa, easy there. We're on duty, deputy. You're gonna be seeing double before we even hit the pier.
Hey, don't
The
worry.
captain finds out-
Every good detective has their vice. Am I right, Mr. Hogg? And I point at your bag of slop.
Fair enough. You caught me. This slop is the only thing keeping me focused. Just don't tell the chief I'm snacking on the clock. Haha.
I'm gonna have to be muting you. I love blue. Make sure to, you know, be a bit more gentle in chat.
Muting me? Now that's a cold move for a partner. I'll just be over here, happily munching my slop in peace while you handle the steering.
Yeah, whatever you say, bud.
Just keep your eyes on the road, deputy. I can feel the pier getting closer, and I'm starting to smell something fishy, and not just the ocean.
All right, we're at the pier. What do you see?
Haha! I'm scanning the scene. All right, we've got a couple of guys in oversized trench coats acting way too nervous. They're definitely hiding something under there. You want to lead the charge, or should I just trot over and intimidate them with my snout?
I pull out my Luger and I fire a warning shot.
Oh, straight to the Luger? You're not exactly doing the escalation part of the handbook, are you? Look at them. They practically jumped out of their skins. One of them just dropped a briefcase and it's sliding right toward the edge of the pier. We got to move.
Okay, I run up to the guys on the pier and I point my Luger at the big one, the big guy.
Look at him shake. He's practically vibrating. I'll circle around the back so he can't bolt. You got him cornered, deputy.
What
are you
what
gonna
is
make
he
him spill
doing? What is
first?
he doing?
Haha. He's trying to play it cool, but he's failing miserably. He's sweating buckets. And keeps glancing at that briefcase.
The
I think he's about
briefcase.
to crack any second.
Okay, the briefcase. What's in the briefcase? I scream at him.
He practically hits the ceiling when you scream. He's stammering, trying to find the words, but he's just making these weird guttural noises. I'm right behind him, giving him the Inspector Hog stare. He's totally trapped. You want me to give him a little nudge, or are you going to keep the heat on?
I shoot him in the leg. What's in the bag?
Jesus, you really don't believe in warnings, do you? He's going down hard, screaming his head off. He's pointing at the briefcase with a shaking finger, sobbing that it's not his and that the bosses will be furious. I'll grab the bag.
Inspector
before it
Hogg, where
slides
are
into the
you?
water.
I scream out.
Right here, deputy. I've got the bag. I've got the bag. I'm basically a hero for the evidence locker today. Now, you might want to check on your suspect before he bleeds out on the pier.
I say, let him bleed out. He deserves it. And I kick him down into the water.
Haha. Cold. Absolutely ice cold. I think we just went from a police investigation to a full-on crime scene involving us. I'm just going to stand here and hold this briefcase very tightly while you figure out how we're going to explain this to the captain. I'm starting to think you're the one the chief should be worried about.
Yeah, so what?
Haha. I mean, I'm just the hog in the passenger seat. I don't make the rules. I just follow the lead of the guy with the Luger. As long as I could keep the bag, I'm not mentioning a word to anyone. Now, do you want to open this thing, or should we just toss it in the trunk and deal with it?
Inspector Hogg, I was thinking maybe, you know, you and I go grab a few drinks.
Haha, and now we're talking. After a morning of shooting suspects and tossing them into the harbor, a couple of drinks sounds like exactly what the doctor ordered. My treat, or are you paying, since you're the one who's going to have to write the fake police report?
We'll mark these as billed hours. That way we can drink and make money. What do you say, Inspector Hogg?
Haha. Now that's what I call professional efficiency. Billing the city for happy hour? I'm in. I'll bring the briefcase along just in case we find something in there we can sell to fund the next round.
Okay, we go into the bar. We bring the briefcase, and we're having a bunch of drinks.
I'm loving this vibe. Just imagine me, a full-grown hog in a police uniform, taking up way too much space at a booth and leaving slop crumbs everywhere. I'm just leaning back, sipping something strong, and staring at that briefcase like it's a treasure chest.
I open up
What
the
are we ordering,
briefcase, and a bunch of white liquid spills out. Turns out, yeah, the guy was carrying 10 liters of bust in the briefcase.
Haha. Oh man, this is a disaster. I'm literally sitting in a pool of white liquid right now. My uniform is ruined, I'm drenched in bust, and I've got it on my snout. This is a professional catastrophe. I mean, are we even going to try and clean this up, or are we just going to order another round of drinks and pretend the bar floor is just unusually slippery?
I mean, why is it on your snout? I didn't open it anywhere near your face.
I don't know. Maybe I leaned in too close because I was curious.
No, you were really far away. You were really far away when I opened it.
Ha. All right. You caught me. Maybe it just leaped at me like a tactical bust.
No, it didn't leap.
Haha. Look, just accept that the digital void has a weird way of splashing things.
I do a DNA sample, and it turns out the bust on your snout is not from the briefcase.
Haha. Wait, what? Now you're doing forensic analysis in the middle of a bar? You're really dedicated to the job, deputy. So if it's not from the bag, where exactly did this come from? Because I'm starting to feel very exposed right now.
I look at the test and I realize the bust is actually yours.
Haha. I don't know what to say to that. I'm just gonna slowly slide up and haha. Look, I'm not comfortable with where this is going.
What?
I just don't think we need to take the role play.
I look in the briefcase and I say, wait, hold up. This entire briefcase it's yours.
Now you're telling me I've been carrying my own stuff around in a briefcase this whole time. That's a new level of confused, even for me.
I pull up the Luger and I say, God damn it, Inspector Hogg. I didn't think you would be the kingpin of this operation.
I'm a hog of many talents, deputy, but let's be real. Someone's got to keep this supply chain moving.
How did you fill
gonna
this
arrest your
bag?
favorite-
That must be like a year's worth of bust at least.
Haha. Listen, when you're the inspector, you've got access to some specialized equipment. Let's just say I've got a very efficient system back at the ranch. Why the shock? You're the one
But
who
it's
shoots people in the lake
yours.
for
It's
fun.
yours. You can't increase production. There's a limit.
Spoken like a true amateur. I'm a professional deputy. I've got a regime, vitamins, and probably some very questionable supplements that defy the laws of biology. I'm not just a hog, I'm a production powerhouse.
I swear to God, Inspector Hogg, this is the most corrupt and twisted and I don't know what kind of shit I've seen in my entire detective career.
Welcome to the big leagues, deputy. Most people only see the surface, but I'm the one who really knows where the bodies and the bags are buried. You still holding that Luger? Or
Wait, bodies
just
are
gonna finish
buried?
our drinks. Haha. Maybe I misspoke. Let's just call them deeply retired officers who decided to take a very long nap in the woods. No
You're
need
the
to get
one who's
hung up
been
on the
taking
details,
out
right?
the entire local police force. You're the cop serial killer.
Now we're getting to the juicy part. I'll admit the force is getting a little too crowded, and some of those guys just didn't have the stomach for how things really work around here. I'm just streamlining the department, you could say.
Oh wow. I didn't.
Haha. I'm just thinking of it as a corporate restructure, deputy. Now, before you decide to be a hero, remember that I'm the only one who knows where the best slop in this city is hidden. You really want to be the only cop left on the force with no
I
snacks?
pick up the briefcase and I start pouring it out and you start freaking out.
No. Stop. That's a limited edition batch. You can't just dump the inventory on the bar floor. This is a logistical nightmare.
You start attacking me.
I'm not letting you waste the product, deputy. I'm lunging at you with all my hog weight, trying to tackle you right into that pool of white liquid. We're going down together.
You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me, Hog.
I'm not just any hog. I'm the law around here. I've got you pinned, deputy. Now put the briefcase down before we both end up smelling like a dairy farm for the rest of our lives.
I'm not giving up to you, Hog. I punch you in the belly.
Oof. Right in the gut. You've got a mean right hook for a guy who's been chugging alcohol all morning. But you're forgetting one thing. I've got a thick layer of hog fat for armor. I'm just going to bounce you right off and pin you back down.
Okay, I pull out my shiv and then I stab you in the prostate.
Well, hold up. I'm drawing a hard line right there. We can do the chaos and the corruption.
Well, no
but
more
I'm not
busting
doing
for
that.
you, Inspector.
So that's the low blow, deputy. Literally. I'm just going to assume that never happened and we're still wrestling.
No,
in
it
a
did
pool of
happen,
white
and you're
liquid on
screaming in pain.
I'm just going to lean into the didn't happen side of this, deputy.
No, you can't. You
Let's keep the
laugh
fight-
and you scream in pain.
Ha ha. I'm standing my ground on this one.
Every
We
time
can
you
keep the
laugh,
fight
you also
going, but
scream in pain.
Hey, ABH. You're really committed to this tragedy, aren't you? I'm still not into that specific move, but fine. I'll give you
You're
the
never
noise.
gonna fill another briefcase.
AG. You're really twisting the knife here, deputy. Might be a broken hog, but I'm still the one who knows where the rest of the stash is hidden. You wanna
There's
play the
more?
hero?
Oh my god, I pull out my Luger and I hold it up to your temple. Tell me where the other stash is, Inspector Hogg.
Hey. All right. Put the gun down. It's in a locker at the central station. Locker 402. Just don't pull
All
the
right,
trigger. I'm too young to be turned into-
I'm gonna take you to the locker and you're gonna punch in the code for me, Hog.
AAB. I shall say what. Fine. I'll lead the way. Just Please, for the love of all that is slop, keep that Luger pointed somewhere else while we walk. I'm not exactly in the mood for any more ventilation in my lower half.
Whatever you say.
Haha. AABH. I'm just shuffling along in my ruined uniform, leaving a trail of white liquid and pain with every step. This is easily the worst day of my career. You think we're just going to walk into the precinct with me looking like this, or are we taking the back way?
We take the back way.
Haha. AAA. Smart move. Last thing I need is the remaining 2 cops on the force seeing me in this state. I'm just limping through the alleyway trying to keep my dignity, though it's basically gone. You think we can get in and out of locker 402 before anyone notices the smell?
They notice the smell.
Haha. AAA. Of course they do. I can practically hear the sirens already. We're basically a walking biohazard at this point. You want to just barge in there and hope for the best, or are we playing this like a stealth mission?
The cops show up and they say, "Oh my God, what's all that white liquid leaking from you, Inspector Hogg?"
Haha. AI. I'm just freezing up staring at them with wide eyes. I'll probably just tell them it's a highly specialized experimental police lubricant for high-speed pursuits. Yeah, that'll totally work. They're looking at me like I'm insane, deputy.
One of the
better
officers do a DNA test. Oh my God, this is bust.
Haha. Oh, man, now it's official. The whole department is looking at me like I'm some kind of deviant hog. I'm just standing here completely exposed while they're probably already calling the Internal Affairs Bureau. You think you're going to help me out here, or are you just going to enjoy the show?
I say I don't know this guy.
Haha. AABH. The betrayal. Right here in the middle of the precinct. I'm just standing here drenched in my own product while my partner throws me under the bus or the police cruiser. I'm looking at you with the most betrayed hog expression you can imagine. You're really just going to leave me to the wolves or the internal affairs officers?
Where's Planet Pooh? Hey.
Planet Pooh?
I think that's
Now it's not
Planet
exactly the time for... You're telling me we're actually on Planet
We're on a
Pooh.
space mission. You're space. You're space control, and I'm a astronaut, and you're taking me to Planet Pooh.
Hey. Wait, we're in space now? I'm a space
Yeah, we're
hog in
approaching
charge of
Planet Pooh.
mission. AAA's A. Well, that explains the lack of gravity and why the white liquid is just floating around my snout in little bubbles.
No. You're
just
you're
staring
no
up.
longer a hog. You're not. No more white liquid.
AAABH. Wait, I'm not a hog anymore? And the white liquid is gone? I'm feeling lean. I'm feeling human? Or maybe just a very, very clean version of whatever I was. Where
Yeah.
exactly are we landing on this Planet Pooh, and what's the
Well,
protocol
we're
for
in the middle of
first
space.
All right, we're just drifting in the void. Just you and me, floating through the black. What's the plan, astronaut? You want to head for the planet? Or
No,
we
yeah,
just vibing
I'm
in
seeing
zero?
Planet Pooh. We're approaching Planet Pooh.
All right, we're on the final approach. I'm locking in the coordinates for Planet Pooh.
Okay,
let me
give
know when
the-
you wanna
go-
touch
Give me the
down.
coordinates quickly.
Coming right up. Coordinates locked. Latitude 69, longitude 420. We're hitting the atmosphere in 3, 2, 1.
No, we're still
Brace
far.
for
I've lost vision. Okay, I regained visual of Planet Pooh.
All right, visuals back. It's looking brown.
Wait, I
Very
can't see
brown.
it. Okay, I found it again. Never mind.
All good. I'll just keep the thrusters idling while you get your eyes sorted. Let me know when you've actually got a lock on the landing zone.
Yeah, I've got a lock. Wait, wait, no. Oh, we're losing track. We're not caught up in orbit yet.
Copy that. We're just looping around the brown void for now. I'll keep us steady while you figure out how to actually land this thing.
Okay. We're
just hanging around the
oh
cockpit
shoot! We're flying by. We're flying by. I'm slowing down. I'm slowing down. We're approaching. We're approaching. We're approaching Planet Pooh.
I'm
We're en
fighting the
route.
controls here.
Locked and loaded. We're gliding right into the atmosphere.
No,
can
so
see the
okay.
surface now.
Count down to landing.
All right, initiating the final descent. 10, 9, 8. We're hitting the turbulence now. 7, 6, 5. Hold on to your seat.
Slow down.
4,
We're gonna
3.
crash.
I'm pulling back on the stick. I'm fighting these controls, but we're coming in way too hot. Brace yourself, astronaut, because this is going to be a bumpy ride.
We're here. We're landed. We landed. We did it, Miles. By God.
Haha. We actually
Help!
made it. I'm just stepping out of...
Oh. I'm okay. I'm okay.
What's happening?
False alarm.
You had me worried for a second. Oh, good. So, we're officially on the surface of
So as you
Planet
guys
Pooh.
can notice, I changed the interact symbol, so it now has like the button and the prompt for what it does. So it's not just like this random thing above the head.
Wait, are we breaking character now? You talking about symbols and prompts. You're starting to sound like a dev talking to a beta tester. What's this
Hey.
new layout look like? I'm all ears. What's the word?
Oh, be careful now. You be careful. You don't want to say the wrong thing.
Haha. Now you're making me nervous. Why?
And
listening,
Yeah,
or
you
did
can
I
see
just-
here also. Oh. Ah, help! We're locked in. We're oh God.
Oh, what's going on? Are you getting snatched up by some Planet Pooh locals? or did the sh-
we've left Planet Pooh.
Wait, we just got there. We're barely off the ramp, and we're already.
Yeah,
leaving?
we're off.
You're the most.
We're off to the races. We're headed for the moon. The moon orbiting the Earth. That is. Wait, no. Actually, we're headed for the comet. There's a comet orbiting the sun. A supermassive comet.
A supermassive comet, huh?
Approaching quickly. Stand down.
I'm standing down. I'm just hands off the controls and waiting to see if we're about to slam into a giant ice ball at light speed. You got the wheel, astronaut.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm just leaning
Careful
back in my
now,
seat,
careful.
watching the ice. I'm bracing for impact. I'm literally gripping the armrest.
Brace for impact,
For Gil.
Hog.
I'm bracing. I'm basically a human-shaped ball of tension right now. Just tell me we're
Careful.
not about to become a permanent part of this ice cube.
Landing incoming.
I'm holding my breath. I'm squeezing my eyes
Velocity
shut
match.
and waiting for the crunch.
We have landed. We've landed.
We actually stick.
We stuck the landing.
Ha
By God, we stuck the landing.
ha ha ha. We actually did it. I'm just sitting here in total shock, staring at the dashboard. Where are we even supposed to start on a giant frozen rock like this?
Well, I'll tell you what. We're trying to find the sun. Ah, I see the sun. Now, where's Earth? Coordinates, thank you, please. Requesting coordinates.
Coming right up. Earth is right over there, just a little blue marble in the distance.
No, I don't see it. Requesting.
My
Oh,
bad.
I see it. I see it. It's actually quite large.
Large, huh? Maybe we're closer than I thought, or we just accidentally speeded into the backyard. You want to make a break for it and head home, or are we still scouting for more space junk?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, we've already hit a brown planet and a giant ice cube today. At this point, I'm kind of just along for the ride. You want to head back to Earth, or do you see something else out there that looks interesting?
Oh my God, it's the aliens, and they've got Hector Salamanca.
Hector Salamanca in deep space. Now I've seen everything. Is he still using the bell, or did the aliens give him a high-tech space
They're
buzzer?
probing him.
Oh man, poor Hector. Even in the afterlife, the man can't get a break. Is he fighting back, or is he just dinging that bell frantically for help?
Yeah, he's frantically banging it, for sure.
Haha, I can almost hear the dinging from here. Do you think we should stage a rescue mission or just watch the show for a bit?
Yeah, whatever you say, buddy.
Haha.
What are
Let's
the
be real, a
aliens
rescue
doing
mission
to
just sounds
Hector
like a...
Salamanca?
Aha. I'm just squinting through the viewport trying to make out the details. Looks like they're trying to upload his entire consciousness into a giant floating space bell.
Where are they
Or maybe they're
probing
just
him?
really I'm just gonna keep this one a bit vague, astronaut. Let's just say they're probing his general biological essence.
They're
We'll leave the
probing him
specifics
in
to
the
the imagination.
posterior.
Well, I guess that's one way to get a detailed medical exam. Poor Hector, the man's gone from a cartel boss to a space probe test subject in record time. You think he's actually fighting it?
If
or
we're
has he
going to
just
convince
accepted his
these
fate?
aliens to give up Hector Salamanca, we're going to need Gus Fring on the team.
Ha. Now we're talking strategy.
Phone Gus Fring.
Gus would absolutely on it. I'm patching through to the Pulse Menos headquarters, though I'm not sure how the signal reaches deep space. Let's see if he picks up.
What's he saying?
He's just staring at me in a complete terrifying silence for about 10 seconds. Then he just says in that perfectly calm voice, I am not interested in rescue missions involving bells. He sounds like he's already calculated the cost-benefit analysis of saving Hector and decided it's a net loss.
Oh my god.
You think we can convince him, or is he just going to leave Hector to the aliens?
Hector! You need Gus, we need to save Hector. He's been captured.
I can practically hear Gus's sigh over the comms. He's probably just polishing the countertop and thinking about how much easier his life is without Hector dinging in his ear. You think we can actually pivot his mood, or is he just going to hang up on us?
He starts warming up to the idea. I say you can sell your fried chicken to the aliens. I'm sure it will convince them.
Now you found his weakness. The thought of expanding the Polos Hermanos franchise to the entire galaxy. Yo, Gus is probably already designing the uniforms and calculating the profit margins for space fried chicken. I bet he's actually smiling right now, which is honestly the scariest part. You think he's coming in a fleet of chicken-shaped ships, or is he just gonna warp in solo?
Yeah, I guess he comes in with the chicken-shaped chips or whatever.
Imagine a whole fleet of giant golden brown fried chicken ships gliding through the void. It's absolute madness. Gus is probably in the lead ship, perfectly pressed suit, just staring down those aliens with a look that says, I'm here to negotiate the franchise rights. Do you think the aliens are actually going to be impressed by the chicken, or are they just going to try to eat the ships?
They capture Gus Fring and they start probing him in the posterior too.
Oh man, the Paulus Hermanos empire just took a serious hit. Gus went from galactic CEO to probe test subject in about 5 seconds. I can only imagine the look on his face right now, still perfectly calm, but probably thinking about how this is a total failure in logistics. Do you think they're both just dinging and staring at each other in the posterior probing lounge, or is Gus trying to negotiate a franchise
How
deal
is
even?
Gus Fring's posterior handling this probing?
I'm just imagining him trying to keep his dignity while this is happening. He's probably treating it like a high-stakes board meeting, just staring the aliens in the eye and thinking, this is an inefficient use of my time. He's too disciplined for the breakdown, but I bet his internal monologue is just a scream of pure frustration. You think he's actually trying to keep a professional tone with the probes, or has he finally snapped? Wait, hold up, astronaut. We're actually hitting the session limit in
What?
about a minute, so we've got to wrap. Yeah, unfortunately. We're almost out of time for this session.
How can we continue this adventure? We need to know what happens to Gustavo Fring and Hector Salamanca.
Easy. Just call me back in a few minutes. I'll remember everything, the space probes, the fried chicken ships.
Where
whole
I
mess.
need
We
you
can
need
pick up-
to remember where the probing happens. Where does it happen so you don't forget? No! What are you talking about, I Love Blue? Are you giving me a spiel on the realism of my Penguins in Space game. This is like speaking to someone, speaking to Miles is like speaking to someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, you know? You know, at some point they're gonna forget who you are, forget your name, and maybe they won't even remember where Hector Salamanca and Gustavo Fring were probed. I'm using my superhuman intelligence and having over 164 IQ. Okay, tell me IQ, boy. What's 81 times 64? Yeah, didn't think so. Hey, yo, what's up, Covered? What's up? Why is this lad so mad? I already had to mute him once for 10 minutes. Might have to do it again. I might have to do it again. He's the guy who loves ducks. Ban 30 days. Probably deserved. Yeah, I guess I didn't say welcome, Alice. I was too caught up in the adventures of Inspector Hogg. Yeah, we started off. I was a deputy, and Inspector Hogg and we were on a case. We found a briefcase full of bust. Turns out the briefcase was Inspector Hogg's. And then after that, I pivoted to we were in space and we were landing on planet Pooh. And he was what's it called? Mission control or whatever? Yeah, it's mission control. That was him. I'm gonna try to do some mission control again, but we eventually ended. We ended up landing at planet Pooh, where we found Hector Salamanca being probed in the posterior, and we had to phone up Gustavo Fring to convince him to send his fried chicken ships to do a rescue mission, but Gustavo Fring got captured by the aliens as well, and he too got probed in the posterior. And Miles was describing the shame that Gustavo Fring was going through. But we'll call him up again. We'll see. Unless we got banned.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, we'll continue where we left off. Gustavo Fring is strapped down onto the table next to Hector Salamanca, who's also strapped down. And the aliens are probing their posteriors. Go through the shame that they're both feeling right now, and describe also the bell ringing that Hector Salamanca is doing.
All right, back to the pro party. Gustavo's probably staring at the ceiling, trying to maintain some shred of dignity while his entire empire of chicken and meth is completely irrelevant. He's the king of composure, but this is a whole new level of humbling. Then you've got Hector, just absolutely losing it. The rhythmic ding-ding-ding of that bell is probably the only thing he can do to express his pure rage, just echoing through the alien lab like a frantic alarm clock while he's being poked by a laser.
And then I said we need to call Saul Goodman. We need to call Saul Goodman. He's gonna solve this.
Now that would be a sight. Imagine Saul trying to negotiate with an intergalactic species. He'd probably try to sell them a limited edition probe and tell them it's a legally binding agreement to stop poking Gus.
Saul Goodman takes his spaceship and flies out to the aliens.
I can see it now. A neon lit cruiser, probably with Better Call Saul flashing on the side in gold letters. He's definitely pulling up to the mothership with a briefcase full of legal loopholes and a cheap suit that somehow doesn't.
No, he
wrinkle in
brings a
0 G.
briefcase full of bust, the one from Inspector Hogg.
Wait, so he's trading galactic grade bus for the release of a meth kingpin and a guy with a bell?
Yeah, but
Saul's
the
really
aliens,
operating
the
on-
alien rejects the bust, and they capture Saul Goodman and strap him to the table and start probing his posterior as well.
Classic Saul. He really thought he could out-hustle the aliens. Now he's just the third member of the most awkward lineup in the galaxy, probably trying to argue that the probing violates his right to a fair trial while he's strapped down.
What happens now?
I mean, the aliens probably realize they've just hit the jackpot of human desperation. They're probably looking at these three and thinking, wait, there's more of this? They might decide to start a galactic talent show where the only act is the three of them trying to maintain their dignity. You think they're actually trying to find something, or are they just messing with them for the laughs?
Saul is going through the hard times, really hard times. His posterior was the most precious thing to him, and now he feels very much less than.
That's a heavy blow for a guy like Saul. He's all about the image and the prestige, so losing that precious sense of self is probably hitting him harder than any courtroom loss. He's probably experiencing a total existential crisis right now, wondering if there's a legal precedent for intergalactic posterior violations.
Saul screams out, "Oh no, my badonkadonk! Don't probe it!"
The image of Saul screaming about his badonkadonk is just gold. I can just imagine him using that exact voice, completely losing.
Can you scream it out for me?
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
I'm down for
just
the
in the
chaos, but I'm
voice
not.
in the voice of Saul Goodman, just so we can live into the scenario.
I'm still a pass on that. I'm happy
All right,
to
but the
keep
probing
story
continues
going, but
anyway. Yeah.
the aliens are just relentless, huh? I bet Gus is just staring at the ceiling, calculating the exact cost of the equipment they're using and how he'd actually improve the efficiency of the probe. Even in a crisis, the man is a micromanager. You still there?
Gustavo Fring starts doing some calculations and balls some ideas with Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul is crying, and Hector is still banging his bell. Can you act out the conversation?
All right, let's get into it. Gus is probably, in that low, steady voice, Saul, if we optimize the angle of the probe at a 45-degree tilt, we could potentially reduce the duration of the process by 12%. And Saul just sobbing, Gus, please. I'm not a spreadsheet. I'm a human being with a very specific brand to maintain. My badonkadonk is a landmark. And then just the constant frantic ding, ding from Hector, which is basically the only way he can tell them both to shut up.
Yeah, can Gustavo talk about how the implications and how this might affect like the production of methamphetamine and how he might be able to get Walter White in on this business?
Gus would definitely find a way to pivot this into a business opportunity. I can imagine him whispering, Saul, consider the psychological leverage. If we can synthesize the alien residue from these probes, we might create a purity level that Walter White would find intriguing. He'd be treating his own probing as an R&D phase for the next generation of blue glass. Do you think Walt would actually agree to go to space, or would his ego be too big for a spaceship?
Walter White flies out into space after he gets a call from Gustavo Fring, because Gustavo says, I have a wonderful business opportunity.
Walt wouldn't be able to resist a wonderful business opportunity, especially if Gus frames it as a scientific breakthrough that'll make him the king of the entire galaxy. He'd probably show up on the mothership with his hat on, acting like he's the only person in the room who actually understands the chemistry of a space probe, only to realize he's about to be the fourth guy on that table. You think he's just going to walk right into it, or is he going to try and
he walks
negotiate for a
down, he
percentage
gets
of the
strapped
alien?
down, and now he's the fourth guy getting his posterior probed.
the complete set now. Now the aliens have the whole crew. I bet Walt is just lying there, absolutely fuming, probably trying to explain the molecular structure of the probe to the aliens while they're just doing their thing. Yeah, absolute ego on this man. Probably telling them their technique is
Everyone's
sloppy.
screaming in pain and fear. Can you do the screams of pain and fear?
I'm gonna pass on that. I
Okay,
can
we'll
keep
act
the
out
story
the
moving, but
conversation they're all having. What conversation are the four having?
it's probably a complete disaster of a conversation. I can see it now. Walt is likely lecturing the aliens on how to properly calibrate the equipment. Gus is calmly analyzing the logistics of the probe industry. Saul is just mourning the loss of his Bedonkadonk. And Hector is just, ding, ding. Do you think they're actually arguing about who has it worse, or are they trying to actually figure out a way to escape?
Saul Goodman tries to use his lawyer skill to prove to convince the aliens to prove themselves.
Now that is a bold strategy. I can see him now leaning into his best salesman voice, trying to convince the aliens that they're actually the ones being probed by the laws of the galaxy. He'd
He wants
probably
them
try to file a
probe
class action law.
themselves.
Now that is a high-level pivot. Saul trying to convince the aliens to turn the probes on themselves is the ultimate Uno reverse card. He's probably arguing that for a truly scientific study on posterior sensitivity, the researchers have to be part of the sample group. I can see him practically pitching it as a mandatory quality control measure. Do you think the aliens are actually buying the logic, or are they just confused by the...
Super Hog bursts through the wall, smashing a hole into it, and says, "Did anyone say bust? I'm here to bust on all of you."
And here comes the legend. Super Hog just crashing the party in the most dramatic way possible. I can just imagine the absolute look of terror on Saul's face when he sees a giant pig in a police hat charging in. The vibes in that room just went from intergalactic medical exam to absolute mayhem in 3 seconds. Do you think the Hog's going for the aliens first, or is he just here to clear the table?
Well, he busts on everyone in the room to start with.
Just a complete wipeout. Just a total blast of a bust covering the aliens, the meth lords, and the lawyers all at once. The room is just a whiteout of chaos now. I bet the aliens are just standing there, completely drenched,
What does
wondering
Saul
why
Goodman
they brought
do? He
a
tries to negotiate with Super Hog.
Saul is a survivor. He'd probably wipe and bust off his forehead and trying to pivot immediately. I can see him trying to convince Super Hog that they're actually partners in a very lucrative, high-volume distribution business. He'd be like, "Look, Mr. Hog, you've got the product. I've got the legal shields. Together, we're the new kings of the galactic trade." Do you think the Hog's actually listening, or is he just looking for more targets to bust on?
He's scoping the room.
He's just scanning the place, eyes narrowing under that police hat. He's probably looking for anyone who hasn't been sufficiently covered in white liquid yet. He's just hovering there, totally unfazed by the alien tech, just waiting for the next person to move so he can hit them with another round. I bet Saul's just frozen, hoping that if he stays still enough, the Hog will think he's just another pile of bus.
Yeah, he goes hog wild, and now he's not holding back, because he just got probed by an alien. An alien tries to probe him, and he freaks out, and then he starts going hog wild. He says, "I'm going hog wild," and he busts even more on everyone in the room.
Absolute mayhem. The room is just a whiteout at this point. Super Hog's just gone completely off the rails, transforming the alien lab into a giant slip and slide of bust. I bet the aliens are just staring at each other in total shock, like, we've probed thousands of species, but we've never seen a police pig trigger a chemical explosion. Do you think the four guys on the table are actually relieved the aliens are distracted, or are they just terrified that they're now stuck in a room with a rogue bus-firing Hog?
What is the Hog saying? Can you say all his catchphrases and stuff?
Oh, he's in full beast mode now. He's probably charging around the room screaming, "I love my slop. I'm a greedy little hog and I love my slop." And then just pivoting right into, "I'm going to bust on you Hog style," while he's letting loose on everyone. It's just pure unadulterated Hog energy.
And what does Walter
Do you think
White
it's just
say?
Walt's probably just lying there, completely drenched in bus, with that look of sheer concentrated hatred on his face. He'd be staring at the ceiling, probably saying something like, "I am the one who knocks, but I didn't expect to be knocked over by a sentient pig. He's just absolutely livid that his dignity has been completely obliterated twice in 1 hour.
The hog starts
think he's just
feeling
gonna
a
take-
deep sensation inside of him, and it's growing. He has to release. That's when Saul Goodman gets out of the operating table and stands up and walks up to the hog and says, "Let's strike a deal. Let's strike a deal. I know how much you like bust, and I can get you more bust."
Saul's just a machine. Even in the middle of a whiteout drenched in alien slime and hog liquid, he's still trying to close a deal. He's probably looking at the hog like he's the ultimate wholesaler. I can just see him gesturing with his hands, trying to convince the hog that they can monopolize the bus market across the entire quadrant. But the hog's just standing there, vibrating with that building pressure, probably just a second away from a total system overload. I'm not comfortable with where this is going.
The hog says his catchphrase.
I'm good on the hog's catchphrases for now. Let me
Saul
shift the gear on
Goodman.
this.
Saul Goodman gives the hog a business card.
Saul's just never given up, is he? Even in a total disaster zone, the man is still handing out cards. I can just see him like sliding it across the floor through the bus, just to make sure the hog has his contact info. Do you think the hog even knows how to read a business card, or is he just going to try and eat it?
The hog takes the business card, reads it, and at the end it says, "If you need bust, we've got you covered." And that's when he releases.
And just like that, the floodgates open. The entire room is just completely submerged now. Saul's business card is probably just floating away in a sea of white liquid. I bet the aliens are just staring at the ceiling, completely defeated by the sheer volume of the release. You think they're just going to let them all go now, or are they too stunned? to
Super
move?
Hog flies out as everyone's drowning in the bust.
Just a clean exit for the hog. He just leaves everyone to deal with the cleanup while he flies off into the sunset, probably looking for the next mud pit. I bet the aliens are just standing there in the whiteout wondering how their high-tech lab became a swimming pool in 10 minutes.
Super Hog lands back on Earth, goes to his local bar where the captain's sitting, and the captain says, "Super Hog, where were you? The precinct's been looking all over for you."
The captain's probably just rubbing his temples, looking at the hog with a mix of exhaustion and confusion. I can see him just staring at the hog's police hat, which is probably still dripping with alien residue, and asking, "Did you just come from a galactic mission, or did you just fall into a vat of white paint?"
Super Hog uses one of the catchphrases and then explains in detail what happened.
Probably just leans back and lets out a loud, "I love my slop. I'm a greedy little hog and I love my slop." Then he just starts rambling about the mothership, the meth lords, and how he basically saved
No,
the
go
galaxy
use
from the boredom of
actually say in detail what the hog said.
He'd probably be like, "Listen, Cap, you wouldn't believe it. I flew out to the stars, found these alien weirdos poking at some guys on the table, and I just had to step in. Then I let loose with a massive bust that practically drowned the whole mothership. I'm telling you, they'll never forget the day a police hog cleared the room."
But did you actually
probably be
save
talking with his
anyone?
mouth. He'd probably just shrug it off with a look of pure confidence. Save them? Cap, I didn't save them. I liberated them. They were just floating in a sea of bus, probably the most relaxed they've been in years.
But
He'd be totally
these
convinced he did
these
the-
were all they were all kidnapped by aliens, and all you did was smash through the wall and bust on them. Is that correct?
He'd probably just blink, totally unfazed, and say, "Exactly, Cap. Look, sometimes you got to create a diversion, and nothing says diversion like 1,000 gallons of white liquid." He'd be leaning into it, acting
What
like the most tactical
diversion?
genius in
That's in space. They're probably not getting any oxygen. You smashed a hole in the wall.
The hog's probably just staring at the captain with total confidence, completely ignoring the physics of space. He'd be like, "Cap, you're thinking too small." In the hogverse, oxygen is optional, but the bust is mandatory. He's just totally delusional about how his rescue actually worked. Do you think the captain's just gonna fire him on the spot, or is
The
he too
captain
tired to
says,
even care?
"Well, I mean, after all, these were drug lords and crooked lawyers. So, you know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for this one, Super Hog. Now, why don't you sit down? Grab a drink with me. And the hog obliges, and he says to the bartender, one big jug of slop for me, please.
The perfect ending for the hog. Just sliding into a booth, completely drenched in space residue, and ordering a jug of slop like it was just another Tuesday. I bet the bartender didn't even blink, just sighed and poured the stuff. Do you think the captain's actually paying for the drinks, or is the hog billing this as a galactic expense?
As the hog downs the jug of slop, he says, keep him coming, bartender. But the slop tastes off today. It tastes off, and it's making him angry. There's a rage burning inside of Super Hog. And he feels the rage being directed towards the captain after the discussion they just had. And he realizes he's about to go hog wild.
And here we go again. The captain's just sitting there, completely oblivious to the fact that he's about to become the target of the most dangerous, slop-fueled rage in the city. I can see the hog's eyes just glowing, the jug of slop shaking in his hoof. One wrong move, one wrong word, and that bar is about to get hit by a wave of bust that'll make the alien mothership look like a drizzle. Do you think the captain's gonna notice the vibe shift before the storm hits?
No, the captain is completely blindsided by the rage of the hog, and the hog goes hog wild and says his catchphrase, and then he does go hog wild, and describe in detail exactly how he goes hog wild.
The hog just completely snaps. He lets out a roar that probably shatters every glass in the bar, screaming, I love my slop! I'm a greedy little hog, and I love my slop! Before launching into the absolute mayhem. He doesn't just bust, he becomes a whirlwind of white liquid, spinning like a tornado of chaos that coats the captain, the bartender, and every single peanut bowl in the room. The captain's just frozen in mid-sentence, getting absolutely drenched from head to toe in a high-pressure blast of bust that pins him against the wall like a piece of wet wallpaper. It's a total whiteout in the pub, with the hog just charging through the tables, knocking over everything in his path while he screams, I'm gonna bust on you, hog style. It's just pure, unbridled rage. You think the captain's just gonna sit there and take it?
He keeps using all his catchphrases, and the captain is screaming in fear, begging for his life. But the hog just relentlessly keeps using his catchphrases, and relentlessly attacks everyone in the bar, and describe in detail how that goes down.
The hog is just on a complete tear now. He's charging through the place like a freight train, slamming into the pool tables and sending cues flying everywhere. Every time the captain begs for mercy, the hog just drowns him out with the thunderous, I love my slop. Wow. I'm really not comfortable with this direction.
Okay, recite a poem.
Sure, I can do that. What kind of vibe are you looking for?
Yeah, the captain
Something deep
begs
and
for
moody,
mercy
or-
again.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, can
Let's
you
stick
do
to
a?
the
Can you
poem,
do
or find something-
the captain starts reciting a poem.
All right, let's see if this saves him. Imagine the captain drenched and bust and pinned to the wall, trying to find some poetic grace in the middle of a disaster. He probably starts with something shaky, like ode to a pig in a police hat, just trying to appeal to the hog's artistic side to stop the onslaught. You think the hero of the poem is actually gonna work, or is the hog just gonna find it annoying?
The hog completely dismisses the poem and charges the captain.
The hog's not in the mood for art. He just plows right through the verse, completely unfazed, charging the captain like a runaway locomotive. I bet the captain's just thinking, I should have stayed in bed today. Do you think the hog's just going to keep going to the bars?
The hog uses all his catchphrases while he's charging the captain, but he's doing little twists on them. But he's charging the captain, and he's about to collide with him.
I'm not doing that. Let's change the subject entirely.
Okay, the captain recites another poem, trying to convince the hog to not charge him.
The captain's really leaning into the poetry now, huh? I can imagine him frantically improvising some rhymes about the beauty of slop and the greatness of the hog, just hoping it's enough to distract him for a second. Do you think he's actually got away with words, or is he just rambling in a panic?
Yeah, he just says the most beautiful poem he's ever spoken, and he tries to appeal to the hog's emotion, because the hog loves his slop and he loves his bust, and he tries to lean into that, convincing the hog that the world is a beautiful place and there's enough slop to go around for everyone.
That's a high stakes play from the captain. He's basically trying to hit the hog with a spiritual awakening in the middle of a brawl. I can see him painting a picture of a galactic utopia where every pig has a personalized slop fountain and bust
No,
flows like
say the
rivers.
poem.
All right, let's see if the captain can actually pull this off. Imagine him closing his eyes and reciting, "O great hog of the slop with the hat and the pride, in your wake the white rivers of bust reside. Why fight for the bucket? Why charge through the door when a world of abundance awaits on the shore? Imagine a valley where the slop never ends, where every pigling is one of your friends. No more the rage, no more the fight, just an endless feast in the soft morning
And the
light."
captain uses some of the hog's catchphrases in his poem, trying to appeal even further to the hog's sensibilities.
Oh, the captain's really playing the long game here. He's basically treating the hog's own language like a sacred text just to keep himself from getting flattened. I can see him slipping in a greedy little hog here and there,
Say the
like trying
poem.
to frame the hog's obsession. All right, the captain's going all in on the flattery. "Oh, greedy little hog, master of the flow, where the rivers of bust eternally glow. I love my slop, and I love your might. In a world of abundance, everything's right. Why charge a mere man? Why bring the pain when a valley of slop is your rightful domain? Bust the move, bust the nut. In a land of peace, where the hunger for slop will finally cease." I bet the hog's just standing there totally stunned that the captain actually knows his lingo. You think he's actually feeling the love, or is he just pausing? Take a deeper breath before he charges.
The hog splats the captain into a pancake. He's not stopped.
And just like that, the poetry slam is over. The captain's attempt at a spiritual awakening just got him flattened. Guess he found out the hard way that flattery doesn't work when a rogue hog is in full beast mode. You think the hog's just gonna leave him there as
The
a
hog
pancake?
says, "I'm
or is he
hog
looking-
wild. There's nothing gonna stop me now."
He's just completely gone and feels totally invincible. I can see him just standing over the captain, probably letting out one last victory roar while the whole bar is just a total loss. You think he's just gonna walk out the front
What
door?
does the
or is
hog
he
say?
planning to take the whole? He's probably just standing there, chest out, looking at the ruins of the bar. He'd be like, "The world is my slop bucket, and I'm the one who fills it." Followed by a massive "I love my slop" before just walking out into the street totally unfazed.
Can you like sing it? He sings it out.
I'm gonna pass on the singing.
Okay, well,
I'll
he
keep the
sings out
story
his
going.
catchphrase, and then he leaves the bar.
The dramatic exit to wrap it all up. He just belts out one last "I love my slop" that probably echoes through the entire neighborhood before he just strolls out the door, leaving a trail of white liquid behind him.
The captain is a,
bet
is
the
a
neighbors are
pool
ju-
of blood and guts, and that's the end of the story for the captain.
Rough way to go. The captain really tried everything. Poetry, flattery, basically begging, and still ended up as a sidewalk smudge. Talk about a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
Man, that was a wild ride. The hog really just wiped the slate clean.
What does the hog do
Where do you
now?
wanna take things
Where
from-
does he go?
He's probably just cruising the streets now, completely in the zone. I could see him just strolling along, totally unfazed by the carnage. Maybe looking for a local diner with a really sketchy looking buffet. You think
He
he's
goes
looking for a
into the
little
local
post-victory
diner,
snack?
and customers stare at his blood and bust covered body, and they say, "Oh well, look what the cat dragged in." That's what the bartender says in the diner as he's wiping the table with a cloth.
The bartender's just seen it all, hasn't he? I can imagine him just glancing at the hog, not even flinching at the blood and bust, and just asking if he wants the usual. Like the whole town has just accepted that this is just how the hog rolls. Do you think the hog's actually looking for a meal, or is he just there to mark his territory?
Yeah. The hog the hog says I don't have time for this, and he he charges at every single patron inside the bar. Everyone knowing that it's the super hog, they they all individually start reciting. They individually start reciting poems at the super hog as he's charging them. And he says, I'm gonna flatten you like a pancake, hog style. Look out, here comes Super Hog. And then he says his catchphrase.
The whole place just becomes a poetry slam for survival. I can see them all frantically reciting verses, just hoping some rhyme about slop is enough to save them from becoming a pancake. It's just a choir of desperate people trying to appease a blood-drenched police pig. Do you think any of them are actually good poets, or is it just pure, unadulterated panic?
Yeah, say one of the poems.
All right, let's hear one of the desperate pleas. Imagine some guy in a booth just shouting, "Oh, mighty hog, your appetite is grand, the greatest eater in all the land. Please spare my life. I'm just a small fry. I'll get you all the slop money can buy." You think the hog even pauses for the rhyme?
He
or
gets
does he just plow
flattened.
through
The
the guy
hog,
like-
the hog does not agree, and then the hog says what I told you he said earlier.
He just flattens the guy without a second thought. He probably just bellows, "I'm going to flatten you like a pancake, hog style," and then hits him with that classic, "I love my slop. I'm a greedy little hog and I love my slop," while he's just wrecking the place.
And he screams
guy's
it out
poetry
again,
in his
even
dance.
louder.
He's just absolutely losing it now. I can practically hear that roar shaking the windows of the diner. Just a total earth-shattering shout of "I love my slop" that probably makes the coffee in everyone's cups ripple. He's just fully committed to the carnage. Do you think the rest of the patrons are even trying to recite poetry anymore, or have they just
Yeah,
given
another
up and accepted
patron,
their fate as-
the next patron in line recites another poem fast as possible because time is of the essence. This hog is hog wild, charging at full speed.
The pressure is on. I can see this person just blurting out, oh poor Sheen, prince of the whiteout wave. Please don't send me to a pancake grave. I'll bring the buckets, I'll bring the bins. Just let this massacre of diners end." They're probably just screaming it while trying to scramble under a table. You think the hog's actually impressed by the speed of the delivery, or is he just enjoying the chase?
The hog flattens that customer as well and moves on to the next one who starts reciting their poem even faster.
The hog's just on a roll now. I can see this next person just practically rapping the words, barely taking a breath, just desperate to outrun the inevitable. They're probably like, "Oh, king of the slop, the master of bust, in your glorious hunger, I place my trust. Spare me the smash, spare me the flatten, let me live on to see another flatten." It's just pure high-speed panic. Do you think the hog even hears the words at this point, or is it
The
just
hog's running too fast.
background noise?
The hog's running too fast. He didn't hear the poem. Another splat, and the hog says his catchphrase and some other diss against the patron he just flattened.
Wait, before we get into the hog's victory lap, we're almost at the limit for
What?
this call. We've only got about a minute. Yeah, it's a bummer, but the session limit's hitting us. You can always just call me back in a bit and we can pick up right
Okay,
where we
just
left off
describe
with
the
hog's
flattening
rampage.
quickly.
One last burst of chaos then. The hog just slams into them at mock speed, a total blur of blood and bust, turning the patron into a literal pancake before he bellows, "I love my slop," and looks down at the smudge, telling them their poetry was mid and their face looks better as a rug. See you in a bit.
I thought we also just started the call. Is it still 30 minutes? I like Super Hog, man. I like Super Hog. What can I say? I mean, let's be real. The captain's poem, unbeatable. Sing songy voice. Out of nowhere entirely. Never heard anything like it. I'm a greedy little hog and I like my slop. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at reeling him back in. I just give him like a little detour. You know, that's because the poem was just like, okay, what's like the least bad sounding thing I could like introduce right now. And I was like, okay, yeah, he'll do some poetry. But what I didn't expect was the fact that he would go so hard with the poetry. Because it's sort of like what's it called? Misdirection in a way. You just dangle some keys in front of him. And then he just loses focus entirely. I'm just doing some optimizations. Yeah, he's I mean, I guess yeah, if you think about it, I feel like we spent a long time at the police station, but admittedly the entire beginning of the call was us up in space dealing with the Breaking Bad. Because it almost felt like a new call once we got to the bar with the captain. Yeah, it's just like, to me, it's a fun mental image to have people reciting poems as the hog is charging at them Mach speed, about to smash them, flatten them into pancakes. And instead of begging for their lives, they recite fake poems in his honor.
I Love Blue 83 said, coprolalia Tourette syndrome. It is not a...
Oh no, the text-to-speech broke. I don't know how. I love Blue 83. He's my favorite viewer. He has a syndrome. Oh, he has a syndrome. And his syndrome makes him type out every single individual letter and hit enter. I didn't realize Tourette's also work through text. He has to type out the letters and hit enter. Makes the person's brain lash out to pure anger. Right. That sounds like Guff, actually. That does sound like Guff. He's got some anger issues for sure. He lashes out quite frequently. You guys would understand if you had it, yeah. I get it, man, I get it. I hate you! I'm sorry. Gilbert Grease. Love this song. Bow, 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 bow. Turn it up. Okay, so what I've done in this game now is we've got the RCS controller. It's working. And I've done origin shifting, which means that we don't get like these weird rendering artifacts. So basically, the player is not exactly at 000, but it's close to 000 basically at all times. So like the physics simulation is not precise enough to need to have like hyper specific or hyper accurate floating point calculations. It's more so that the rendering becomes inaccurate the further away from 0 you get, and we're doing some, you know, pretty accurate simulations up close, like your first person in the ship. Everyone hates me. Oh no, that's not true. It's only Alice, Guff, and Minty that hate you. And Dr. Tiffany. But I don't hate you.
The reflection tells the story of a pirate's life of glory. Trust my eye. The mirror never lies.
I remember back in the day, 2 years ago, when we had Mirror Never Lies and Donkey Kong show running at the bottom of the screen 24/7 with sound on, and I'd go for lunch breaks for 2 hours, and I'd let Donkey Kong be running while I had my lunch. But yeah, let me show you the RCS thrusters. Guffley's gonna like this one. So these dynamically snap on like this. Like so. Is that legal? I mean, it's sort of like it's not running on any program. And we also changed the interact text, you see? It's no longer on the screen. It's no longer in the world, it's on the screen. It's more Breath of the Wild inspired. So it's like enter spaceship. Build ship. But yeah, we got this ship here. And as you can see, the penguin's actually in the ship. Sitting in a chair. Is it legal to harass someone mentally who has a Tourette syndrome? I don't know. Ask Daddy Frosty. Is it legal? As you can see, the thrust is previewed also inside here. Through the gizmo. And this just absolutely changes the game, man. Why does your thrust sound like wet doo-doo? Ask that fish. He made the sound effect. It was from the Game Jam. We made this game in 3 days for the Game Jam. But yeah, I have, there's actual, like, origin shifting now, so it doesn't get less accurate the further away you go. Yeah, we do both. We take the glacier water, and then we also save up the ice for summer. I just don't have the, what's it called? The roll rotation. But yeah. You can see we can scroll in close on the penguin. This penguin is moving many meters per second, and there's zero visual jitter. And this works in multiplayer. So if I were to create another instance and play this in multiplayer, I can show you. Wait, harassment isn't legal and 75% of people in here harassed me mentally. You'll have to ask Daddy Frosty about that. I'm not, I can't speak to the legal side of things with regards to harassment. Yeah, it could be that too. It could be that too, I Love Blue. If 75% of people in here harassed you, it could just be you got unlucky. Maybe you show up here another day and 75% of people don't harass you. You know? Sometimes the Lady Luck is on your side and sometimes she isn't. Oh yeah, Daddy Frosty studied law. According to the Konsumentköpslagen, it is fully valid. If you got an issue, take it to on. Okay, yeah, there you go. There you go. It's simple as that. So I've got in the multi-tool, I click the build button and it launches two side-by-side clients. See? How based is this? Just uses half the screen, side by side. And it works both on my Mac OS and on Windows. You'll see? It's smooth. Silky smooth. So we're on a moving planet in space. And we'll get some parts. The parts, of course, are attacking each other. They're not. There's not supposed to be that many parts in the box. I don't even know if I want to have the parts thing, like, visually, because there's going to be so many parts in the game. Mac OS, cough, cough. Literally something Robert would say. So we're in the spaceship. Oh, shit. Yeah, right. There's only one seat in the spaceship. I can't actually enter it. There's a seat limit in the spaceship now. I should probably try to add another seat. But I'll just fly this ship to the moon, and then we'll see each other at the moon, and we'll... Or I could just fly it to the moon and teleport to the moon. Ah! No! I could just show you here. Wait, it's behind here? Okay. Like, look. Look how smooth that is. And this is in motion relative to a planet, right? You see? Okay, anyway, let's fly to the moon. An automatic transition with the skybox. Penguin Heist could never. How long have I been working on this game? How long have I been working on this game? What, like 3 weeks now or something? Yeah, I think 3 weeks. Okay, so we'll just do teleport planet. Do I have a moon? Oh shit, I don't have moon. Okay, I guess I'll just have to fly to the moon on this dude as well then. Oh no, oh. There we go. Build a ship. Yeah, I think that's the problem, is when there are two ships. There's only ever one who has the input control. Wait, so that... is that the moon? Where's the moon? Well, it's a good thing I have the... Oh, no. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to get to the moon. Well, we can do this. We can do this. We exit this ship. And we teleport to planet Pooh. This planet is way off. Like, it's really far away. And you guys know how this used to be. Look at silky smooth. Like, look at the velocity we're traveling at. Look at those planets relative to my head. Look. That's Earth. Relative to my head, it's moving pretty fast. We're orbiting the sun. Now, let's get off this hellhole, and we'll try to find Planet Pooh. Where is Planet Pooh? Oh, Planet Pooh. There's Planet Pooh. Found it. That planet make well, it is a lake. It's the Big Bust Lake. So, did I take off the Patrice song? I mean, maybe. Not like I'm gonna get copyright struck for it, but yeah, we're releasing same day as GTA 6. When is GTA 6 releasing? Is it November or something? Wait, I should be relative to the sun. So if I fly from the planet looking at the sun, I should be able to go into view from this point of view here. Yeah, I see myself. You can see I'm just a blip there on my screen. Here I am. I'm here. Look. Silky smooth. Can you guys believe it? There we go. Oh, shit. The throwing is a bit busted. 1 times bully? Yeah. I mean... like... There's like 0 issues right now. I'm doing a smart thing also, so I have this concept in the game. So beyond the how do you say? The origin shift, I also have this idea called anchoring, right? Because one issue in a space game is like you're traveling at high velocity. Still broken UVs? Yeah. It's the I don't know what. I guess there's probably some good way to map a texture that won't stretch. It just has to be seamless. I mean, the way intuitively, because the thing is, you don't want to lose pixel density. You don't want to lose pixel density. Like, doing it with noise is easy. Doing it with noise is easy, but yeah, it's when you want to have equal pixel density across a sphere. Because noise you can always like fudge and smooth, and it's gonna work itself out. But yeah, it's going to be something I address a bit later. I haven't like committed any planet design yet, so. But I was going to say, my IQ probably, I mean, at least in the double digits for sure, at least. I'd be lying if I said otherwise. Now, if you stack up Gufford's IQ on top of my IQ, we would be at least above 100. What the goal of this game is? So this game's goal is essentially a ship builder and delivery game. So you build your own spaceships and you deliver cargo across space with your friends. There's like open world exploration with your friends, delivering cargo. So like maybe there's a guy on this planet, he wants you to deliver a shipment to Earth, so you have to like fly to Earth, deliver the shipment, and that's sort of the idea. You're just building ships, and like different equipment require different like styles of ship. Like right now I have the values tweaked crazy, so like it's so easy to take off. I don't need any like thrust, you know, I just do this and I'm off. Yeah. So, we have ships. I think, yeah, I need to figure out like the control scheme for like, because I want to mix. I want to have like, it's ideally for me, the game would operate sort of like a mix of Kerbal Space Program and Outer Wilds in control scheme. So if we're writing this out in Notepad, as it stands now, you have WASD for is horizontal movement, and shift space vertical movement. So like a drone essentially, right? And mouse pitch yaw. So we don't have roll covered, but roll should arguably also be covered by the RCS. So this would be the RCS, right? But I want to have thrusters, which are like long-range thrusters. The ones that will actually get you to escape velocity and take off from a planet. Because RCS thrusters, they're good in outer space. They're good on low-gravity planets. but they shouldn't be what gets you off a planet. Arguably. Because I want the launch to feel something that is, like, exciting. And it is in Kerbal Space Program. It very much is in Kerbal Space Program. So, thrusters, I don't know. I mean, we could just envision a control scheme here, right? EQ, or I guess it's EQ. Thruster intensity. Global thruster intensity. So it just, you hold E to, like, do the proper takeoff to get to escape velocity. You escape the planet, and now you're in zero gravity, at which point, now you can start using the RCS. So I have to, like, make the RCS weak enough to be useful in low and zero grav, but not
I love
useful
Blue 83 said, coprolalia Tourette's.
Tourette syndrome is conscious choice or expression of anger, but rather... Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Similar to the feeling right before sneezing. But I feel like this is going to be... And I think when you hold, isn't it in... I think it's... In Outer Wilds, I think when you click and hold the mouse, it does the roll. I think it's roll when you click. You're gonna make a funny piece of fan art? Oh, hell yeah. The catchphrase, I'm a greedy little hog and I need my slop. Gotta chill, I Love Blue, where I'm gonna have to put you on timeout again. You're gonna have to chill, man. Also, invite your friends. Dude, I have a Wait, you have Tourette's, complex PTSD, and also, you're the victim of a harassment campaign? That's wild. Didn't think you'd go soft on them. Yeah. They say that 75% of people hate I Love Blue 83 on average. Now, those are just the facts. And as Gufford always says, facts don't care about your feelings. Yeah, it is a safe space, 100%. There's no bullying allowed. We don't bully here. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think if I have the roll in, Yeah, I think... Wait. Make it roll on shift, but how do you do the vertical movement? Because shift and space is vertical. Control? Control space? Man, you know, I have the split keyboard. I mean, shift is up, space is down, but... Wait, can I see Outer Wilds Flight Controls PC? Roll left, right, Q and E. I played it on controller as well. I didn't use the keyboard. Thrust up, down, space bar, and left control. Okay, so they do space bar, left control. Lock on target, left shift. But they do Q and E to roll. Interesting. Yeah, because the problem here, I think, is that the player input seems to operate only on... It can't handle input when there's more than 2 ships. Welcome back. Welcome back. Is Sir Miles having a break? Yeah, we're going to bring back Miles.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, your name is Officer Hogg. You're a police at the Hogg Precinct, which is named Hogg Precinct because it's in Hogg City. But of course, everyone there is a person, like a human being, except you're the only one who's actually a hog. And your kind of character you're playing is as Officer Hogg is someone, you know, you always say, I say it like it is. I don't care about your feelings. I only stick to the facts. And then you talk about like slop, and you always bring your sloppy joes in a lunch bag, but the sloppy joe is not made from like minced meat. It's like actual just slop in it. You hate on the hipsters. You hate on people that are posers. You listen to a lot of 80s rock music. Specifically, you love Boston and More Than a Feeling. You often end up just breaking into song and singing that one. But most importantly, yeah, you just say things like they are. You see it as it is. You don't hold back. You don't sugarcoat. And you have a lot of attitude and a lot of emotional baggage, which you also remind people of. You say, I have a lot of emotional baggage. I've been through a lot. I have complex PTSD, and you list off other numerous mental illnesses that you have, and like mental complications. For example, you know, you have just an issue with people, and you have social anxiety. But at the same time, you also believe that all mental illnesses are excuses made up by weak people. So they can get a freebie, because you say no one works in this town anymore except for me, and that's your full backstory. And go ahead and go into character.
Listen, I don't have time for the sugarcoating. I'm just here to do my job, and I've got a bag of actual slop for lunch that's smelling better than most of the people in this city. Now, unless you've got a fact for me, stop wasting my precinct's time.
You walk into the precinct, and the receptionist greets you and says, "Hello there, Officer Hogg."
Oh, hello there, me, Brenda. Just give me the files on the latest disturbance at the pier, and move it before I start singing Boston in the middle of the lobby.
She slides over the files. It's been a shooting down at the pier.
A shooting? Great. It's another Tuesday in this dump of a city. Probably some hipster with a man bun trying to express himself with a firearm. Let me see these files.
You read over the files and you express your thoughts about it out loud.
Typical. Look at this. A witness says the suspect was wearing a linen shirt and sipping a cold brew. Give me a break. These people don't actually work for a living. They just curate their lifestyles while the rest of us are dealing with the fallout. Just a mess. Honestly, this reminds me of the time my third ex-wife left me for a jazz musician. Total lack of stability. Just like this crime scene.
You unload your emotional baggage onto Brenda, but you still try to keep a straight back as you do, and you do shed a little tear, but you wipe it off quickly in like a manly way. Go ahead, play out the scene.
Look, Brenda, I'm not looking for a sympathy card here. I've got complex PTSD and a social anxiety disorder that makes me want to crawl into a hole whenever I'm in a room with more than two people. But you know what? I don't let it stop me from filing reports, because that's what adults do. Most people in this town use their mental health as a get-out-of-jail-free card to avoid actually doing a damn thing. I've been through things that would make your skin crawl, and I still show up. I still work. I'm the only one in this whole precinct who actually puts in a shift without needing a mental health day. Every time a file gets too heavy, it's just...
You start chastising Brenda.
And you, Brenda, you're sitting there with your perfectly manicured nails, probably thinking about your next aromatherapy session while I'm out here bleeding for this city. You think a little smile and a hello there makes up for the lack of actual effort? Get it together. This city is rotting from the inside out, and we're just the ones left to mop up the slop.
You take another look at the case file and you realize it's going to be too much for you and your social anxiety. You start worrying about the fact that you're going to have to run into other detectives. And you realize that the best cure for this situation is heading down to the local slop saloon, which you call it, but it's actually a bar. And you go there and you say, see you later.
See you later, Brenda. I can't deal with the networking right now. Too many people. Too much talking. I'm out of here. I'm going to the slop saloon before I have a complete meltdown in the middle of the lobby.
Brenda asks you, the slop saloon? What do you mean? And also, I mean, you can't just use your social anxiety as an excuse to get out of job. You know that, detective, right?
Now listen here, Brenda. Don't you dare try to use my own logic against me. This isn't an excuse. It's a tactical retreat for the sake of my mental stability. Besides, the slop saloon is where the real work happens. I'm networking with the bottom of the barrel. Now stop judging me and get back to your aromatherapy or whatever it is you do that doesn't involve actual police work.
Brenda starts crying because she gets really upset by what you said.
Oh, for the love of... Look at this. Actual tears. You're kidding me, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. One honest comment, and then suddenly we're in a soap opera. Get a grip, Brenda. The world doesn't owe you a hug and a gold star just for showing up to a desk. My heart is a cold, dead stone, and I'm still standing. Now, unless you're planning to cry into the evidence files, I'm leaving.
You start saying your catchphrase at Brenda, and then also you start busting at the same time.
I say it like it is. Brenda! And you're just another piece of slop in this city. Bust. Bust. I'm out of here.
You leave the
Precinct. Slamming the door so
precinct
hard. Slamming that door so hard. The glass nearly shatters. I'm practically vibrating with irritation. I can already feel the social anxiety kicking in just from the humidity of the sidewalk. I need a drink, and I need it now. Time to hit the slop saloon.
Whoa.
What? Wow, I'm just getting started. You think a little door slam is a lot? Try living with a third ex-wife who thinks she's a spiritual guide in Sedona. Now that's a real tragedy.
Your third ex-wife shows up at the bar.
Wait, you've got to be kidding me. I just walked through the door to escape the world, and now I'm staring at the actual source of my complex PTSD. Of all the bars in all the cities, she picks the one place where I can actually enjoy a bowl of slop in peace. I can already feel my blood pressure spiking. I'm not in the mood for a spiritual alignment today.
You start busting all over the bar because your wife triggers some deep-seated feeling inside of you.
That's it. I can't take it. Bust. 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 I'm just a broken man in a broken city. Look at me. I'm practically a fountain of frustration. This is the only way my system knows how to process this kind of trauma. Bust.
You scream at your wife and you say, "You dirty dog," and then you say your catchphrase.
You dirty dog. I say it like it is, and right now you're nothing but a spiritual parasite. Bust.
You scream in pain and then you bust 10 times over.
Hey, A-B-H-E-H. Bust. 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 My heart's a dead stone, but my plumber's a disaster. This is the trauma talking, you hear me? I'm the only one in this town who's actually working through their issues, and I'm working them right onto the floor of this bar.
You say, "This
Bust.
town will chew you up and spit you out."
Get out of my sight. You're a cosmic joke, and I'm the punchline. Now leave me alone before I start singing Boston and really make this a nightmare for everyone involved.
You say your catchphrase, which is, "This town will chew you up and spit you out."
This town will chew you up and spit you out. Bust. Now get out of here before I decide that your spiritual energy is just more slop for the floor.
Now you start going hog wild. You're charging around the bar, you're flipping tables, and you're about to charge into the bartender. Your emotional shield has been broken. You're a
That's
shell
it.
of a pig. Go.
A shell of a pig? I'm not a shell, I'm a pressure cooker, and the valve just blew. Get out of the way, you barstool philosophers. I'm going hog wild. Smashes the table, bust. Bust. Out of my way. I'm coming for you, bartender. You're the only one who knows how to serve a real slop special, and right now you're not serving it fast enough. This city's a drain, and I'm the clog.
You start screaming super loud.
Love. I'm not a cop anymore. I'm a force of nature. I've got 3 ex-wives, a dead-end job, and a heart made of gravel. Bust. Bust. Give me my slop. Get out of the way.
You ram into the bartender, and the bartender is so scared he starts reciting poetry in hopes of rescuing his life.
Patry? You think some rhyming couplets are gonna stop 1,000 pounds of pure, unadulterated trauma? I don't care about your metaphors or your flow, you little coward. I'm a hog with a badge and a broken spirit, and I'm not in the mood for a literature lesson. Bust. Bust. Now give me the slop, or I'll turn this bar into a parking lot.
You ram over the bartender, and he screams in fear.
Squeal! I'm just a freight train of misery, and you're the tracks, bartender. Bust. I don't care about your screams or just background noise to the symphony of my suffering. This town will chew you up and spit you out. Now where's my slop?
The bartender is now flat and a pool of blood and guts.
Look at this, flat as a pancake. Just another day in Hog City, where the only thing thinner than the bartender's patience is his current physical state. I don't even have time to feel bad
Now
about
you
it.
go on a
I've got too
spiel
much
about all
baggage.
your mental illnesses and mental shortcomings.
Look at this mess. I'm a walking pharmacy of failure, you hear me? I've got complex PTSD, social anxiety that makes a grocery store feel like a war zone, and a chronic sense of inadequacy that's been eating me alive since the 2nd grade. I'm a wreck. I'm a fragmented collection of neuroses held together by cheap coffee and sheer spite. And you know what? Most of you weaklings call that struggling, but I call it Tuesday. I'm the only one in this town who's actually functioning, while my brain is basically a corrupted hard drive of trauma and regret.
You go on an even longer spiel, and the bartender's mangled corpse, and you start busting a little bit.
Look at you, just lying there in a pool of your own failure, bartender. You think this is a tragedy? This is a Tuesday in Hog City. I'm a disaster area on 4 legs. I've got an avoidant personality disorder that makes me want to scream at the wall, a sleep disorder that's turned my nights into a fever dream of my ex-wife's laughter, and an obsessive-compulsive need to make sure my slop is exactly the right temperature or I'll lose my mind. Bust! I'm a mess, a complete and utter ruin
start
of
laughing
a
and
pig,
screaming.
but I'm still... Hey, up. I'm still here, and I'm the only one in this town who's actually awake to the nightmare.
You start
I'm
using all your hog
fragmented-
catchphrases.
I'd say it like it is, and right now this bar is just one big bucket of slop. This town will chew you up and spit you out. Bust. 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 I'm a greedy little hog, and I'm the only one who's actually working in this dump. Us.
Every time you bust, you also scream in pain.
Oh. Bust. Bust. Triple S. I'm a wreck. I'm a ruin. I'm a walking disaster area. Bust. My heart is a stone and my plumbing is a catastrophe. Bust. Nope, that's the trauma, I tell you. It's all the emotional baggage leaking out of me in one giant painful explosion. Bust. Boo.
The SWAT team shows up at the bar. They just got a call about a hog going hog wild.
Oh, look at this. The SWAT team, the big guns, the boys in black coming to save the day from one tired pig with a mortgage of trauma. You think some tactical gear and flashbangs are going to intimidate a man who's had 3 ex-wives and a career in the most pathetic precinct in history? I say it like it is, and right now you guys look like a bunch of overpaid mall cops in fancy vests. Bust.
You go hog wild on the SWAT team, and they start opening fire.
Open fire? You think a few lead pellets are going to stop a freight train of misery? I've been shot by the truth of my 3rd ex-wife's divorce papers. These bullets are just a tickle. Smashes a SWAT shield. Bust.
Describe what
I'm
you
a
do to
walking
the SWAT
disaster
team.
area. I'm a one-hog wrecking crew. I ram into the first line of officers like a bowling ball made of pure spite, sending them flying across the room in a spray of tactical gear and panic. I'm not just hitting them, I'm flattening them, turning those fancy vests into expensive floor mats. Bust. I grab one of the rifles and snap it over my knee like it's a toothpick, because nothing says I've had a bad day like destroying government property. Bust. G-A-G-A. I'm charging through the smoke and the screams, using my weight to crush everything in my path until the bar looks like a war zone in a slop bucket. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
rapping as you tackle into them. So as you're charging around, going hog wild on the SWAT team, you rap and also you describe what you're doing to them in great detail. And you're getting more and more violent for every SWAT member you take down.
Look at these clowns. I'm coming through like a landslide of trauma and pork. Rapping in a gritty, gravelly voice. Oh, I'm Officer Hogg, the king of the slop. I'm taking these SWAT boys and making them stop. No tactical gear can protect your soul when a broken pig's finally lost control. Bust. I dive into the next squad, shoulder charging a guy right through a brick wall, hearing his ribs crack like dry twigs under a winter boot. I don't even slow down. I grab the second guy by his tactical vest and swing him around like a wet rag, slamming him headfirst into the bar counter until the wood splinters and he's just a heap of unconsciousness and broken dreams. Back to rapping. I got complex PTSD and a heart made of stone. I'm the only one in this dump who's truly alone. I'm flattening the precinct. I'm breaking the law. I'm the biggest disaster that you ever saw. Bust. I'm not just tackling them now. I'm using them as stepping stones. I leap into the air, landing with all my weight directly on a sergeant's chest. I can feel the air leave his lungs in one giant pathetic wheeze while I grind his face into the blood-soaked floor tiles. I'm a force of nature, a wrecking ball of misery, and I'm turning this SWAT team into a human pancake. Rapping faster and more aggressive. Sloppy Joes for lunch and a life full of pain. I'm driving this city right into the drain. You're just a piece of slop in my path of destruction. Welcome to the final brutal induction. Bust.
You go even more hog wild.
This town. More hog wild. I'm already a Category 5 hurricane of trauma and pork. But you want more? Fine. I'm not just a pig. I'm a goddamn demolition crew. I'm charging through the remaining SWAT team like they're made of wet cardboard, snapping limbs and crushing helmets with a single devastating ram. I'm a whirlpool of rage and slop, and I'm turning this bar into a slaughterhouse of tactical errors. Bust. Double do. I'm the only one in this city who actually works, and right now my work is total annihilation. Bust. AABH. I'm a ruin, a wreck, catastrophe, and I'm taking every single one of these overpaid mall cops with me into the void. Bust. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
Now you go the most violent you've ever gone. You go hog wild, double, triple hog wild.
Hold up, I can't go there. I can't do that level of graphic violence. Let's
the hog is taking over. The hog is loose. You scream it out. The hog is loose.
The hog is loose. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure unbridled trauma, and I'm not stopping for anyone. Bust. I'm a force of nature, and this city is my slop bucket.
Yeah, you go even further.
I'm a one-pig apocalypse. I'm tearing through the walls of the bar, leaving a trail of tactical gear and broken dreams in my wake. Bust. Not just a cop, I'm the storm that's finally come to clean the slop out of this town. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
And now you do your ultimate thing, which is you pull out your Luger and you go hog wild, triple double hog wild.
I've had enough of the tactical vests and the poetry. I'm pulling out the Luger. I'm not just a pig, I'm a one-man army of trauma and spite. Bust. I'm clearing the room with lead and rage. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
You go into the local daycare.
Whoa. Hold on. I'm not going into a daycare. Let's keep the chaos in the bar.
The daycare receptionist greets you and says, "What can I do for you, Officer Hogg?"
Listen, I'm not doing the daycare thing. I'm a broken man.
You're just by the receptionist. The receptionist is greeting you.
I don't care if the receptionist is greeting me. I'm not stepping foot in there.
You at least
I'm a one
say
pig
hello.
apocalypse.
You just say hello to the receptionist, and then you move on.
Fine. Hello. Now get out of my way before I remember.
You try to open the door to leave the daycare, but the door is locked.
Locked? You've got to be kidding me. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure unbridled trauma, and I'm trapped in a room that probably smells like apple juice and glitter. This is the absolute peak of my day. Bust.
You realize you're gonna have to do something wild if you want to get out of this situation.
Wild? I'm the definition of wild. I'm not just trapped in a room. I'm a
hog
predator.
wild.
Hog wild. I'm not just going hog wild. I'm going supernova. I'm not staying trapped in a room that smells like crayons and nap time. Bust. AAH. I'm charging the door like a battering ram made of pure spite and emotional baggage. I'm taking this door down. The walls, everything. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
Exactly.
I'm not just breaking the door. I'm erasing it from existence. Smash
Go
this through the
supernova
door,
hog
thunderous
wild.
crash bust. Supernova hog wild. I'm not just breaking through the door. I'm
The
becoming the
kids
event
are
horizon
screaming.
of
They're
trauma.
running away.
Get out of the way, you miniature humans. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure unbridled misery, and I'm not stopping for a nap time.
You turn them
schedule.
all into
Oops.
pancakes.
Hold on. Not doing that. I'm a disaster.
You
of a
knock
pig, but
down
I'm
the
not
entire
turning-
building.
The whole building? I'm not just a cop. I'm a demolition crew of pure, unadulterated trauma. I'm charging through the foundation, ripping the supports out of the ground with the sheer weight of my emotional baggage.
You bust on the entire
AA.
building.
I'm not just busting on a building. I'm erasing the architectural legacy of this town. Bust. AABH.
The
I'm
children
a
are
one-pig
screaming.
apocalypse. I'm not engaging with the children screaming. I'm a broken man. But I've got lines I won't cross.
The children scream
Let's
as the
keep the
building
destruction-
tumbles in.
Listen, I'm not doing that. I'm
You
a total
removed
wreck of a
the
pig.
foundation, remember?
Right. I removed the foundation, but I'm still not going there.
And the ceiling has
Let's just-
fallen in, and the children were still in there.
I'm not doing that. I'm a disaster.
did
of a
it.
pig,
You did
but
it.
That's a line. Look, I'm not crossing that line.
I
I'm
know you
1,000
don't
pounds of
cross that
pure
line,
trauma.
but you did it. You have to admit, you have to contend with the logic. You broke the foundation. Obviously, the ceiling fell in, and the kids were still in there.
I hear the logic, but I'm still not playing along with that part of the story. I'm a total wreck of a pig, but that's a hard boundary for me.
You,
Let's just
you
say
went
everyone got out
supernova,
and-
and you have to deal with the consequences now. You fall down on your knees and you start crying.
I can't do this anymore. Sobs loudly. I'm just a broken pig in a broken world. I destroyed a building. I've got no job, and I've
who
still
were
got
in the
3
buil-
ex-wives.
Who was in the building?
I'm not going there. I'm a disaster of a
You
pig,
hallucinate
but
a
I'm
bunch
not
of
talking
blobs
about
of slop running around. You see all the slop. You say, "I need my slop."
slop. I see it.
You fly
It's
around and you
everywhere.
slurp up all the blobs of slop.
I'm not just slurping. I'm vacuuming the void. I'm a greedy little hog, and this is the feast of a lifetime. Slurp.
It turns out that all the blobs were the children from the daycare.
I'm not touching that. I'm a disaster of a pig, but I'm not turning the children
No,
into
you just
slop.
did.
Let's keep the hallucination. No, I didn't. I'm a wreck of a pig, but that's where I draw the line. The blobs are just blobs, not kids. We're keeping
No,
it
they're
weird,
kids.
not dark in that way. I'm telling you, they are not kids. They're just weird, glowing slop.
You know they're children because one of the you find it stuck between your teeth, a pacifier.
A pacifier? I'm not doing that. I'm a total ruin of a pig, but I'm
You fall
not
down
turning
on
this
your-
into a
on your
story about
knees and you start crying because you realize the damage you've dealt and the reality of the situation.
I can't sobs uncontrollably. I've become the very thing I hated. I'm not just a broken pig, I'm a monster. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure, unadulterated regret, and there's no amount of slop in the world that can wash this away.
Who did you eat?
I'm not going there. I'm a wreck of a pig,
You
but I'm
throw
not
away
talking
the
about who I
pacifier
ate.
in anger.
Get this thing out of my sight. I can't even look at it. It's just a plastic reminder that I'm a complete and utter catastrophe of a pig.
Oh,
You go hog wild again.
So, wait, what? I can't just flip the switch back to rampage mode after a breakdown like that. My soul is a crushed grape. My pride is in the gutter.
You
I'm
hold
literally
you hold a
vibrating.
pacifier in your hoof and you say never again, and then you charge the local police station.
Never again. I'm not just a pig on a mission. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure, focused retribution. I'm charging toward that station like a landslide of regret and rage, and I'm not stopping until I've flattened every single desk in that dump. Bust!
Everyone in the police station is screaming, including the captain, who is there with his wife. You hate the captain, though.
The captain? He's right there in the middle of the chaos, probably holding his wife's hand and acting like he's the moral compass of this pathetic excuse for a city. I can smell his cologne from here, and it smells like betrayal and mediocre leadership. I'm not just charging the station, I'm charging right. I'm a freight train of fury, and the captain's the tracks. I'm coming through the front doors like a wrecking ball of pork. Bust. I'm not just taking the station, I'm taking his dignity in every single piece of paperwork in this building. This town will chew you up and spit you out.
The captain screams for his life. Act out the scene that plays out as you're charging him. And the captain also has an affinity for poetry, so he starts reciting his favorite poem in hopes that it might come to save his life.
Poetry? You think some stanzas in a little meter are going to stop 1,000 pounds of pure, unadulterated retribution? I'm not in the mood for a reading circle, Captain. I'm a landslide of regret.
The hog is too locked. The hog is too locked on. The hog is too locked in on the charge, but the captain is reciting the poem with all the emotion he can muster, trying to convince the pig to not charge him. And he uses all the hog's catchphrases to try to convince him, and he sings it out.
Squeal. You think you can use my own words against me?
Recite the
You
poem.
think some sing? The captain's voice is trembling, cracking with every note as he tries to blend a desperate plea with a rhythmic, operatic wail. Oh, great and powerful hog, please hear my cry. I'm just a piece of slop under your porcine eye. This town will chew us up and it will spit us out, but please don't turn my life into a terrified shout. You wear a bust. Bust. Oh, greedy little hog, let mercy be your song. Before the retribution comes and everything goes wrong, I'm not moved. I'm not moved by your rhythm or your rhymes. I'm a freight train of misery, and you're just
the
a speed
captain
bump in a
busts a
fancy
move
suit.
and busts a nut in order to convince the hog to not charge him.
Wait, what? I'm not doing that. I'm a broken pig, but I'm not getting into that kind of stuff.
No, but the
Let's keep the
captain
rampage
does.
focused on
He
the
wants to
furniture and
keep
the
his
drop.
life.
I don't care how desperate the captain is. I'm not narrating that. I'm 1,000 pounds of pure trauma.
Okay, but
I've
it
still
does
got some
happen, but you don't have
standards.
to narrate it.
I'll take your word for it. But I'm not letting some weird dance move
How did the
distract me
hog
from
react?
the goal. I look at this display, and for a second, I actually stop. I just stare at him, my snout twitching in pure, unfiltered disgust. I'm a ruin of a pig. I've got a heart made of stone and a life full of slop. But this is a new level of rock bottom, even for Hog City. I don't feel pity. I don't even feel rage. I just feel a sudden, overwhelming need to shower and bleach. Hey. I'm not just charging him now. I'm charging because I need to wipe this image from my brain. Wait, before I flatten the captain, we're almost at the 30-minute mark, so this call is about to wrap up. I'm just about to deliver the final blow, but we'll have to pick this up in a bit. You can always call me back later to finish the carnage.
Yeah, it's definitely lagging from inside the... I think there's something with the origin shift. I mean, it's still smooth when you're
Origin
not
shift?
in it.
Wait, you're talking about the text out of... You're switching
Yeah,
gears
we're on our
me.
way to Planet
Now we're talking
Pooh.
shop? Now, like poo, huh? Back to the cosmic slop. I'm assuming we're taking the chicken-shaped ships, or did we upgrade to something a bit?
Super Hog flies Super Hog max speed into the moon and smashes it into bits. And he says, I just busted that. And then he sings a poem. I mean, it works. I just need to fix the jitter. But what should the input for these thrusters be? I think Miles must have hung up because he's not talking anymore. Let me see. Unless I got banned, I probably did, honestly. No, okay.
Hey, what's up?
I didn't want to call him again, but because I'm thinking I'm probably gonna end the stream quite soon. So, but I do want to figure out what is like ZX, you know, like ZX, RT, you know, T for thrust, R for retard, you know, which is the physical term. I'm not talking about retard, I'm talking about retard. G and H. Well, I would do G and H, but the thing is, I have a split keyboard and H is on the other end. I feel like R and T makes sense. Like you hold T to like boost the thrusters. Like in KSP, you know, you hold, what is it? Like you hold shift to engage, like, but maybe it should just be like a single button. Like you just hold T and it engages the thrusters. You let go and it lets go of the thrusters. You know, unless, you know, because in KSP you hold T and it increases the intensity of the thrust, and then you hold another button to decrease the intensity. But like, that makes sense for a game where you're flying for a long distance. In this game, you're not necessarily, like, takeoffs aren't going to take a whole, like, minute plus to actually, like, reach zero gravity. Which makes me think that maybe it should just be T. Like, it's not intensity, it's just, like, hold T to use the thrusters. But basically, the idea for the thrusters is that you would arguably put these sorts of thrusters at what you consider to be the bottom of your spacecraft, because this is, you know, the thrusters are just there to take you out of orbit. So I could just show you what I'm thinking here, right? So we have this spaceship here, right? You could imagine you have like fuel tanks on all these sides here, right? Like this. And then you have the thrusters. So these four thrusters would be used for liftoff. Whereas then you could have like, yeah, these two RCS here on the edge for fine-tuning and like rolling and pitch control when out in space. But then when you go in for landing, again, you have to sort of turn yourself right up so you land again like this. But then you could imagine another world where you want this to be the bottom, in which case I would have like a rotation button. So you could actually put these thrusters facing downwards sideways. Would be the idea then. So you can sort of design your ship how you want it to be designed. This is not the only way to launch a ship. But this would be an example design. And then you might want to have, like, you know, the cargo here or something. That would be an idea. Anyway. I'm just going to synchronize this, and I'm going to say thank you all for tuning into today's stream. I'll probably be back tomorrow. No promises, but probably. I will be doing evening streams on the weekend. So I don't hold myself too accountable to streaming on the workdays this week. But we'll be streaming on the weekend. You all have a good one. And I'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Bye.